A few people have asked me whether it's possible to import your own HDR environments into the Instant Lighting Kit. And the answer is yes, and I'm going to show you how to go about this. So to demonstrate, I've created this simple scene and I've loaded the studio environments from the Instant Lighting Kit, and I'm just using the environment in slot number 1. So how do you go about replacing the default images with your own ones? Well, the first step is to identify which image is being used. You may want to replace all 12 images, or you may only want to replace 1 or 2. So if we expand the environment, we can see all 12 environment images are listed, and I've actually got them in the correct order. So image number 1 is at the bottom, followed by image number 2, and so on and so forth. So we can see that image number 1 is the studio image. So if you select the relevant image in the shader tree and then switch to the Images tab, that same image should be highlighted there. So with the correct image highlighted in the Images clip, right-click and select the option to Replace as Still. Doing this is going to open a dialog box which is going to allow you to select a new image. So let's get something that's going to be very, very different. Say the sky is on fire. And with that done, you can see that in my shader tree, I've got a new image in the slot number 1. And if I refresh preview, we should see completely different lighting. So then you can go through and replace all 12 images with whatever you wish. So once you've gone through and replaced all 12 images, you're going to want to save the whole thing as a new preset, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. So the presets in the Instant Lighting Kit are environment presets, and it's important to save any new version you create as an environment preset as well, because that's the only way to ensure that all the rigging and all of the images are saved correctly. So the first step is to choose a file location which is accessible to your preset browser. I'm just going to open my preset browser by hitting F6. If you don't have one set up already, you can add path here at the bottom. So I've got my folder here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click on my environment. I'm going to go Save Environment Preset. Be sure not to use the Save Item preset, but the environment one. And I'm going to choose that location, and I'm just going to call this Test. And now if I open my preset browser, I can see that my new environment has appeared in there. Now at this point it's ready to use as it is, but there are a couple of optional steps you may wish to take. The first would be to replace the thumbnail with something a little more attractive. So I'm going to right click on the preset and I'm going to go Replace Icon with Image File, and I'm going to select a thumbnail which I rendered earlier, and you can see that gives me a more attractive thumbnail for my preset. And the second step that you may wish to take is to attach the script that I've attached to all of my presets to your own preset. So whenever you load any of these presets from the Instant Lighting Kit, Environment Importance Sampling is automatically turned on in your global illumination settings, and that just means that you're going to get cleaner renders from your image-based lighting. So let's attach the relevant script to this custom preset we've just created. I'm just going to close the preset browser for a second, and I'm going to go to System, and I'm going to go to Open User Folder. And here I can see the kits folder, so I'm going to open that, and then I'm going to go into the Instant Lighting Kit and go to the scripts folder there, and here I can see the script that I need. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy the path to the clipboard, and I'm going to return to Modo. And next I'll open my preset browser once again, locate my custom environment, right click on it, and attach script from the menu. And from here I can simply just paste the path that I just copied to the clipboard, select the script, and add that to my preset. And the final step will be to test to see if everything is working correctly. So I'm just going to close the preset browser. I'm going to revert my scene back to what it was before I replaced the image. Let's just do that very quickly. So with the file reverted, you can see that my original Studio HDR is back in the Images tab. Let's just unpause preview just to check. You can see that that's back to the studio environment. So now let me open preset browser. Let's double click to load this custom preset we created. Now we can see that the new HDR is in the Images tab, and if I unpause preview, we can see the lighting's changed. So everything seems to have loaded correctly. If I go to the render tab and check the global illumination, I can see that Environment Importance Sampling is enabled. So this means that you can create your own variations of the Instant Lighting Kit with your own images while still having access to all of the nice rigging controls in the kit. So you can still select multiple environments, rotate, change the brightness, etc. So let me just quickly demonstrate that it's working with our custom image, and as you can see, it's all working perfectly. So it preserves the rigging while just swapping out the images. Now, just before I go, there is an issue that I'd like to point out, and I believe this is a bug in Modo related to loading multiple environment presets after you've saved a file. So what can happen is if you've loaded an environment preset either from my kit or a custom environment preset that you've created, you save the file, you close the file, and then you open it again and then go back to the preset browser and load a new environment preset. In theory, this should completely overwrite the previous environment preset, but sometimes what happens is that doesn't actually work. And so what you'll see in your item list is a leftover group from your previous environment preset. And if you have one of these in your item list, it can break the rig. The workaround is really simple. All you have to do is simply to delete the leftover group. Once you do that, your rig will work back as normal. So I hope you found this video useful, and thank you very much for watching.